My name is Louis Abrams, and before I begin, I must acknowledge my relationship with Jinx. I will consider us friends. All the quotes were taken from The Art and Science of Portraiture, a book by Sarah Lawrence Lightfoot. And if I seem biased throughout this film, it is because I am. I love his art. The portraits are designed to capture the richness, complexity, and dimensionality of human experience in social and cultural contexts, conveying the perspectives of the people who are negotiating those experiences. A portrait is just a snapshot of time. You could think of an actual portrait in the way that when someone gets a portrait taken of them, they are showing how they want to be seen in that certain moment. The portrait is placed in social and cultural context and shaped through dialogue between the portraitist and the subject. Jinx is unable to shape the portrait himself through dialogue, but he is able to shape the portrait through the portrait itself. As we can see throughout the characters, they have emotions on their face, and they're usually skateboarding. Jinx is unfortunately unable to shape the portraits himself due to possible negative repercussions. I hope this serves as a start to the dialogue, and one day he is able to take it over when all the problems have been resolved. Just because Jinx is unable to shape his art through dialogue doesn't mean there isn't a meaning behind it. As you can see, every character has emotions or feels some type of way, and you could tell that just by the portraits alone. The portrait in our example is Jinx and different variations of Jinx. We'll see Jinx on the street, on walls, action figures, or even social media. Because Jinx places his portraits in such intimate places, such as on the streets, on walls, as posters, and on social media, we have to evaluate the richness of his portraits. The richness of the layer of human experience verbatim from Jinx is confidence, believing that one person's luck is another's misfortune, and how that can be subjective depending on someone's own esteem. When speaking about the richness of the art, we need to take into account how it is made. And you see, Jinx makes everything himself. From drawing the cartoons that will either end up as miniature movies or a poster, to fiddling wax and turning it into the correct form of a rat. Jinx does everything by himself. And in my opinion, it adds to the richness because it makes every piece of art a one of one. Another layer onto the richness is the cuteness. The cartoons are so cute, but yet so expressive, showing emotions that everyone feels, whether you are a child or an adult. It's very relatable and richer due to its cuteness. To talk about the complexity, we must first talk about how Jinx got his name. Jinx came from trying to find his graffiti name through being in high school and feeling the teenage angst. Jinx felt jinxed, and eventually he owned the feeling of being jinxed and turned it into confidence. And once he got his graffiti name, he got called a park rat, and that's when he mixed them and became JNX Rat, JNX Rat. A park rat is someone who just hangs out at the skate park all day, and it seems like they have nothing better to do. And that was exactly true. When you are submersed into the culture, there is nothing better to do than be a part of it and to have fun. Skating is a process of failure and accomplishment. Day by day, you see what tricks you make and you see what tricks you fail so you can get better and eventually make. I think this holds true for his art as well. But unlike skateboarding, art has no failure. There is only lessons and growth. He used to always draw, but never was truly jinxed until he started drawing himself as a rat. And once he did this, he grew to start making clips of the rat cartoon and eventually grew to make them into action figures for people to hold and feel as if the rat has a place in society. Personally, I love that Jinx uses a rat as a show of confidence because many times we could feel like a rat behind the scenes, in the gutters, in the trash, digging through just trying to find another scrap to live. But when we're able to take a moment, we realize we're much more than just a street rat. We'll be looking at the perspectives of the people who are negotiating these experiences. I was fortunate enough to ask the people in my area how they felt about Jinx. Their perspectives didn't surprise me, but it might surprise you. Many people felt inspired. They felt as if Jinx could do it, they could do it too. If we were looking at the old model of communication, Jinx does the thing. He does so through his creativity and his openness within his creativity. A lot of people are creative, but on the inside, and they close it up to the people on the outside. Jinx, he allows everybody to see who he is. At any moment, anybody can see the poster, the cartoon, the action figures, and they can feel one with it. The only way that Jinx is closed off is his identity. And if you know anything about Jinx, you know it is because of the repercussions he could face. It is not because he doesn't want you to know who he is or he wants to be mysterious. He just wants to make sure he's safe. I guess if you learned anything from this project, it's that Jinx is a creative person trying to express himself in ways that are uncommon to the social norm. If you wish to contact Jinx and talk to him or purchase any of the action figures from him, his @ is JNX Rat, Jinx Rat on Instagram. And I gotta give a huge shout out to my brother Coeditor for providing the beats. KKOA. Make sure to tap in with him on Instagram as well. And if you want to find more videos like this, just find me @KingLouis_2. So make sure to tap in. Tap in means Together All People Network.